Here's your idiot car guys.
Hi y'all, Jeff back here with the Idiot Car Guys. So, a couple weeks ago, was working on the 300 SE that I recently purchased. You know, let me refresh your memory. I kind of kept it from Tom, kept it under wraps and so on and so forth because I had a little bit of work yet to be done on it. And some of that work was, you know, it's a hard starting car and it is very difficult to start. And so I was able to replace the cold start injector, and that didn't make any difference. So then the next thing that I had seen on YouTube and some of the YouTube videos was the overload protection relay. And I had it on order, but it hadn't arrived. So now I have replaced that. That was a very simple part to replace. And so I did it in this carport as soon as it arrived. And so now I'm going to start the car just to see if there's any change in the starting, because then there's a couple other things that I can certainly try. And one of them is with the alternator, the voltage regulator has a tendency to go bad. And I mean, those things, according to a couple of other sources and Mercedes source on YouTube, he indicates that that's also a problem and it's very, very easy to change. But I haven't done that one yet. I've got the part, but haven't done it. So right now I'm going to actually get in the car and I'm actually going to start it. Now I'm going to go through the motions. If it's still a hard start, I'm going to go ahead and get it to start while on camera, and then I'm going to back it out a little bit so it can actually warm up. The last thing on this car that I need to do, or another thing I need to do on this car, is I don't have any heat. And that's usually the mono valve. And so I have one of those available, and I can actually change that. And so, but you know, I want to try and get the starting issue taken care of. So I'm going to be in the car and I can still talk because I've got the microphone on, but let's see if this car actually, what it will do when it starts or how it starts. And I'm going to leave the door open so that you can actually hear it. And you know what? It started right up. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. So it was the overload protection circuit relay that actually caused the issue. So I am very impressed. This car is, and it's a kind of a cool day today. It's still in the 30s. We still got snow on the ground, but this is the first time this car has been started in 2 weeks. I'm going to actually back it out and let it warm up a little bit, and let's see what happens with the rest of it. Maybe that overload protection relay had something to do with you know, the electronics on the for the climate control. But let's see what happens. I'm going to back it out and let it warm up a little bit. So I don't know if you can hear it run, but it is purring like a kitten. I want to run the driver's window down. Always do that when you're letting the car run, so that if it locks itself, especially a Mercedes-Benz, they will lock themselves from time to time, depending on the age of the car. But there you have it, folks. I'm going to pause the video for a little bit here and see. I'm going to let this warm up. I can see a couple things that when I did some of the refurbishing on the inside, which I'll take the camera down. Before I pause the video, I'm going to take the camera down and show you the interior, because I actually did a little bit of the touch up and clean up of the leather interior, and it's actually looking marvelous. So I'm going to open up the door. I'm going to grab the camera. You pausing? Okay. Does it pause? So here we go. You saw the last video. Here's this one, the bolster that had some issues right down there. The leather dye is looking really good. All the other seats are looking very, very good. Remarkably, this car is in great shape. So what I'm going to do, after it warms up, I'm going to actually take this out on the highway and stretch its legs a little bit. So I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to pick it back up when I take it out on the road. So hang tight, folks. We'll be back. Okay, folks, I'm back here. So I got backed out of the parking stall, and I'm going to take this out for a little ride. Now the speedometer doesn't work, nor does the odometer, but we're going to test it to see, you know, based on RPMs. 3,000 RPMs is 60 mile an hour. So we're going to go with that. And also, this is going to be an opportunity to test the climate control, see if it warms up. If not, then that's a mono valve change. So here we go. You know, like my 560 SEL, this one's got sounds like a couple bushings on the suspension that clatter a little bit. So I'm gonna have to have those checked out yet. But other than that, so far, as we're going through town here, it's actually a pleasure driving this car. And I hope I'm under the speed limit. Well, the mono valve did not open because we're up to operating temperature and it's still blowing cold air. So I'll have to change that, but we'll only do that once we release the pressure and have to let the car cool down a little bit. But we'll get out here on the highway and kind of put this car a little bit to its paces. I'm not going to overdo it because it still needs an oil change. So you know, I want to do that before I really start driving it hard. As you notice, looking at the gauges, half tank of fuel, temperature gauge is up to where it's at. Oil pressure is good. No speedometer, no odometer, but have a tachometer. So, and the economy gauge is actually working, so we'll just see what she does. So we're at probably about, I'm going to say, around 55 mile an hour right now. We'll get it up to speed here. Now I'm going to guess we're about 65. I've got a GPS or one of those gizmos on my phone that I can test it, but I'm using my phone as the camera, so that's not going to work. As you can see, this thing is actually riding and driving really nice. And it's always nice to look out there over that hood and look at that Mercedes-Benz star. So folks, I gotta tell you, this car was a good find. A couple little things. I'm gonna put some new tires on the front. It does have new tires on the rear. Changed the mono valve, so I've got heat. I do know the air conditioning does work. And that's really about it. This is now a daily drive, can be a daily driving car. So folks, put your comments down below. We appreciate you watching the video, and tell your friends and have them subscribe to our channel, and you know, provide any feedback that that y'all want. So We appreciate you watching. Thanks.